Item number 9, another exciting time, proclamation recognizing the retirement of Staci L. Smith, Cami Bremer, Commissioner, Board of County Commissioners.
I move the following, single-handedly approved.
Kind of getting ahead of yourself there.
I move the following proclamation recognizing the retirement of Staci L. Smith. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, regretfully acknowledges the retirement of Staci Smith, who has faithfully served El Paso County for 22 years. And whereas Mrs. Smith first started working for the county in February 1998 as a motor vehicle technician for the El Paso County Clerk and Recorder's Office. And in 2000, she became a property technician with the Assessor's Office and was promoted in 2002 to Property Examiner, promoted in 2004 to Commercial Appraiser 1, and promoted to Commercial Appraiser 2 in 2005. And whereas, in her 22 years, Mrs. Smith was continually recognized for her hard work helping the department meet the statutory requirements, assisting other departments in extra capacities while other coworkers were on vacation. And whereas, Mrs. Smith has embodied values of integrity, hard work, and great customer service, and exemplified steadfast dedication and loyalty. And whereas Mrs. Smith has established rapport and professional relationships with many of the Assessor's Office staff, office customers, and has been an important part of the commercial property department. And whereas Mrs. Smith has been a valued asset in the office with day-to-day operations, as well as a great support with large undertakings such as discovering, listing, classifying, and valuing many types of commercial properties in El Paso County. And whereas Mrs. Smith also spent 2 years working for the Clerk and Recorder as a motor vehicle technician. Now, therefore, the Board of El Paso County Commissioners recognizes and commends Staci L. Smith for her 22 years of outstanding service and dedication to the El Paso County Assessor's Office. Done this 20th day of February 2020 at Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Mark Waller, Chair, Lojinos Gonzalez, Jr., Vice Chair, Stan VanderWerf, Holly Williams, and Cami Bremer, members, attested to by Chuck Browerman, County Clerk and Recorder.
I'll second. All right, that's been moved and seconded. Mr. Assessor.
Good morning, Commissioner. Steve Schleicher, El Paso County Assessor. This one is going to be an extremely difficult one. Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored this morning to be able to stand up here and address you all in a very special person, Staci Smith. Staci's been with El Paso County for 22 years, as mentioned in her resolution. Thank you, Commissioner. She began as a motor vehicle technician for the El Paso County Clerk and Recorder's Office, and in 2000, the Assessor's Office got extremely lucky and became a property technician within the Assessor's Office, and quickly found her footing and not only became a valuable member of our team, but started to take over in areas that weren't even in her job description. Such as when she turned up at 6 a.m. one morning thinking the clocks had changed, here I thought she was just being extra eager to get an extra early start on her day. Or the time she asked me to assist her in retrieving a shelter dog from her vehicle. I will elaborate. Everyone that knows Staci knows her love for dogs, especially her golden retrievers. However, on this day, she was rescuing a golden retriever, and I did not know why Staci needed my help. I figured it out quickly when I got to her truck. This poor pup was probably 100 pounds overweight and could not get in and out of the truck. So Staci asked me to pick her up and walk her back to the office. This is when we were still downtown here. The short walk from the parking garage to the assessor's office, which usually took about 5 minutes, turned into a 30-minute workout. Every 10 to 20 yards, we found it necessary for this poor dog to take a break and lay down wherever. Yes, even in the middle of Cascade in the middle of morning traffic. So the morning traffic really appreciated Staci and I and this dog that day. I thought my task was done until Staci shared with me that this poor pup would not be able to make it up the stairs to the second floor where the assessor's office used to reside. And wouldn't you know it, I had to cradle this poor dog and carry her up the stairs, and I do believe I still have the strained muscles and slip discs, so I'm going to be sending her the medical bill. As soon as we got to the second floor, this poor pup looked at me like she did all the work. For the rest of the day, I avoided my good friend Stacy because I knew she would need help getting that poor pup back down the stairs. These are only a couple of the fond memories that I have of Stacy, and I'll just share a little bit later because we're having an all-day party for her and her family in the assessor's office. And I'll just share with the staff the story about the food poisoning she gave me.
Not me personally.
Yeah. But when I think of my good friend Stacy,
I think in her defense, probably a little food poisoning for you every once in a while is not a bad thing. So it's you know.
Have to keep him in line.
it's my winter weight. But you know, when a great person retires from the assessor's office, I always try to come up with one word. And that one word actually multiplied, and I always look at Stacy as fun. And that word multiplied into enjoyment, vitality, laughter, and living it up. Jokes aside, Stacy's work acumen was outstanding, always serious about her deadlines, her tasks for the day laid out on little yellow Post-it notes stuck all over her desk, and yes, I did find some on some of her coworkers' desks as well, and was always a sporty team player in the true sense of the word. I could always rely on Stacy, and there were many times she was that go-to staff member for me. She will be sorely missed by me, and I believe I could speak for all of our commercial department team and those that had the joy to work alongside of her all these years. Stacy, you will not be easily forgotten or replaced. Please come back anytime, and it would be great if you could still do possessory interest for me. So well enough for me. I want to let Stacy do the rest of the talking on this auspicious day. So ladies and gentlemen, staff and family, please give a warm welcome to a very dear friend, Staci Smith.
Why don't we do this before we get to Stacy, and we'll give her a chance at rebuttal here, and I'm sure she'll have a bunch. Why don't we open it up to anybody else in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of this proclamation? Please make your way down, and if you wouldn't mind, sign in, state your name, and then you may begin. Sounds like we need to deny this one as well.
Bob Harper, I'm the commercial property manager in the assessor's office. Was directly managing Stacy, and I just wanted to say that I never had to worry about Stacy and the accuracy of her work. It was always just phenomenal. We're going to miss that accuracy, and we're going to miss Stacy for some time to come. So I just want to thank you, and we'll definitely miss you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good morning. Rick Davis. I'm the land manager in the assessor's office, and I've worked with Stacy for about 20 years. We worked pretty close together, and I had to deal with commercial land, so we've prepared County Board of Equalization hearings, and I've had to sit in on hearings with her, and I can tell you that at times those can be somewhat of an adversarial position that we have to deal with a citizen. And Stacy handles those amazingly well, and I just appreciate what I've been able to learn from her. Another thing, you know, we're in different departments, but we sit almost across from one another. And over the years, I've had projects that I've been up against deadlines where I've needed some assistance, and she's been more than happy to jump in. So I just want to congratulate you on your retirement, and you will be missed. So thanks for the opportunity of working with you.
Thank you.
Rick Van Dyke with the El Paso County Assessor's Office. I'm the GIS manager for the Assessor's Office. So when I've been there slightly longer than you, still am. But when she first came on board, I worked with her to try to acclimate her to the mapping of how the Assessor's Office worked, how to be able to find your bullet away from point A to point B. And when we first met, it was one of those situations where we just clicked and things were understood between each other. And I knew then you developed a friend forever. So one of those things, even though she was in a completely different department than myself, I could always go to her and depend on what she could get for me. And if she was ever lost and needed to find anything, she knew where to come back to find me. But I just want to let her know that she will be sorely missed. And, you know, with the assessor's office, we're not always the most popular office in the county. So a lot of times, some of the hardships we deal with, we close ranks with each other, and we always lean and depend upon each other. And that was one of the things I could depend on her for. And besides, she's the only other person I know that has this love for cherry mashes. It's one of the candies that is a guilty pleasure of mine, and she was one of the few people that I've found that loves them also. So I'm going to miss that, and every time I have a cherry mash, you'll always be in my heart.
Really humiliate Staci. No, Stephen Allaby. I work with Staci, or worked with Staci in the commercial department. Right from day one, Staci made me feel very welcome, and knowledge is power, but for her, the power was sharing the knowledge. So she made my life very, very much easier, and you're going to be missed a lot.
Hi, I'm Melissa Combs. Staci and I started working together in the clerk's office a long time ago. In fact, I worked with Staci's mom for a lot of years as well. So we go back a long way, and I feel like we kind of grew up together. But Staci has always been extremely professional with customers, so patient. We sit across from one another, and there are numerous times when she would explain 2, 3, 4 times to a customer who's just not grasping something. And she's always been extremely professional, a joy to work with, very, very funny, and will be greatly missed.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of this proclamation? All right, well, I can tell the assessors group doesn't speak a lot of words, but when they do, they're powerful. All right, Staci, you get a chance at rebuttal here, and let's make it good, okay? The assessor certainly deserves it.
I didn't know that I would have the opportunity to speak in front of you, so I do not have anything written. And when I start to speak from my heart, the tears start to roll. So please be patient with me. This has been probably one of the best journeys I could ever ask for as far as a career goes. Not only do I come into work every day and work with professional people who do such a good job at the work that is tasked to them, but I come in knowing that I'm among friends as well. We very often, in the stressful times during our appeal periods, we're all kind of realizing that we're in that same boat, and the support and the help and the roundtable conversations that we can have with the support of one another has just meant the world to me. I have gone through many life changes, as have all of them that we have shared. My son has grown up. We've celebrated weddings and children being born and puppies, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and I thank you all for letting me be part of it.
All right, thank you. Well, we'll bring it up here for some discussion and some deliberation. So who'd like to kick us off? Commissioner Gonzalez, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank you again. I think you said 22 years, so a lot of dedicated service there, especially under Steve. So you've got great leadership there as well. I think I was a little concerned when I said they were going to miss your accuracy. So I'm hoping the rest of the department is still pretty accurate.
They're threatening to call me at home.
Just the way that was stated, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if you. Hopefully you weren't talking about Steve accuracy, but I thank you again for all the great work and the years of service and dedication to the the county and for your office. And I've been back there several times, and it is a great organization. So God bless, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Commissioner Williams.
Well, I do know you have had to put up with Steve, but you also had to put up with Mark Louderman for 8 years. Now I'm kind of embarrassed because I can't go back further and remember who was before him.
John Bass.
Okay, John Bass.
Yes.
So, yes, and then I noticed too, my daughter worked for the El Paso County Motor Vehicles for 2 summers, and then she decided she wanted to be a chemist and never work there again. So anyone who's smart enough, I guess, to find another job after motor vehicles, certainly, you know, the assessor has been greatly appreciative of your work, and just excited. I hope you enjoy your retirement and enjoy whatever your future endeavors may hold. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner VanderWerf.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, we're really going to miss you. You know, the organization is fantastic. The team does such a great job. You're part of that team, and I'm sure that you're going to be missed. And I appreciate the comment about accuracy. Accuracy is definitely important, right, Steve? Yeah. And you know, I find it interesting your love for dogs. You know, my wife Betsy also loves dogs. We've had dogs for 30 years, miniature schnauzers, and she was a commercial property appraiser. How about that? Yeah. Before she met me and we got married, and then she went off and ran the household for us. So
Wonderful.
But you know, I can hear the passion in your voice. I can tell that this is a part of your life that you loved doing. I can just feel it. I think that that's really outstanding. I want to make one other comment, which I think was interesting. Last week, I was in San Antonio, and this is for you and the assessor team. And there was a retired Air Force colonel that worked in the chamber for the San Antonio chamber, and stood up in the meeting and said, what the assessor's office is doing in El Paso County, Colorado is incredible. The amount of work that you're doing here, a lot of the automation process, and then the fact that you have really small numbers of complaints, which does speak to accuracy and these kinds of things. Well, that word is getting around the country. I mean, I actually heard about it in San Antonio. Wow. I know, I was amazed by that. And you know, you just have to be proud of that because you're part of the team that has delivered that kind of reputation. So again, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done for the citizens of El Paso County. You're right, sometimes it's a tough job, but because you do it so well, it's not a place in our community that really has a lot of tough conflicts because you do that job well. I do appreciate that. You know, when I go to your office, it seems like it's a place where I can settle down and relax. There's not the tension that you would find sometimes in other places. So I'm sure you've contributed to that as well. Best of luck to you in your retirement. And I guess I got to ask, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to, my husband is an airline pilot, so I will hopefully be able to take some trips with him on his journeys. I know he's going to work, but for me it would be a vacation. I will be able to spend some time with my mom, who is retired, and my son, and I call her my daughter. She's my son's girlfriend, but my son and my daughter. And get more involved in the rescue. I kind of had to take a step back because I started working 4 10-hour days, and that didn't leave much room at the beginning or the end of the day for my transport and home visits that I do for Golden Retriever Rescue. So I plan on getting more involved with that as well. And I'm going to work part-time. I'm certainly not going to sit at home, and my husband makes fun of me and says I'm going to sit at home and eat bonbons. I have no intention of doing that. I want to get out and still be a part of this community and really participate in some fun things.
That's outstanding. Congratulations again. And I think it's fantastic that you're going to just chase a different passion, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Wonderful. Thanks
Thank
again
you.
for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your 22 years of service. Having the last 5 or 6 of those be under Schleicher makes it more like 35. But we certainly, appreciate that sacrifice you've made over the last several years to keep El Paso County moving forward from an assessor's perspective, despite our current assessor. So, no, he's a wonderful guy.
He's a good egg.
Yeah. I mean, the assessor's office is one of those, one of those offices that we don't hear about unless things are getting screwed up, and that doesn't happen. And so we don't, we end up not hearing about all the great work that all of you folks do from the assessor's office. So it's, I appreciate the opportunity to hear a little bit about all of the contributions you've made over the last 22 years to our community and how you've helped make it a better place to live and work, and certainly a better place for people to live, based on all you've done from an assessments perspective. So, go off, enjoy your retirement, have a great and happy time, and, certainly celebrate all the sacrifice and, all the good stuff that you've done for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Bremer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Staci, congratulations. I had the honor of meeting your family with you this morning, and it's very clear that all of you have a heart of service, and that has been fully ingrained. And I understand your mom also retired from El Paso County, I think, Commissioner Williams, as a motor vehicle department employee.
Clerk and recorder. Yes.
So anyway, it's I think that the ability to this is about you today and your service, but I have to say that it makes me as a commissioner step back and be very, very proud of an employment environment where people want to give what you've given and what those in your family have given to the county. And the culture has been one that you found a place that you could serve in a fun way, we heard. That is amazing to me. And as kind of a newbie on the board, I just, that's striking to me about your particular proclamation today. I also read the words, you embodied the values of integrity, hard work, and great customer service, and exemplified steadfast dedication and loyalty. And I think it's fitting that you have a heart for your golden retriever rescue work, because those are qualities embodied in that particular breed as well. And I just love thinking about that and how you that is a connection point for you. It's also many of the same qualities that have helped you in your role with that integrity and hard work and great customer service. To serve. Every one of our 2,800 employees serves. And sometimes they serve directly the citizens, sometimes they serve their fellow employees. And it's just amazing to think about the scope that of impact that you can have from wherever you're serving. Thank you very much for having done that for 22 years. I'm sure it wasn't always easy, but I am so proud that we have employees like you, honored to have met you and your family. And once again, I feel like I'm a broken record saying this sometimes. I'm sad that I've had a short time to meet all 2,800 employees, and you are certainly included in that. So don't be a stranger. Come let us know. I probably can't carry a 100-pound golden retriever for you, but I'll help you out anytime. But blessings and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. With that, I will call the roll. Commissioner Bremer.
Now I get to say I approve.
Commissioner VanderWerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We will stand in recess for a picture.